That's juicy tone, Mr. Chapman.
Juicy guitar, Mr. Captain Anderton.
Well,
Mr.
welcome
Captain.
back, you juicy people. To another episode of Andertons TV, yes, where myself and Mr. Chapman will attempt to demonstrate to you wonderful products from the wonderful world of guitar. And today we're talking about our good friends at Tone City.
Is it a city of tone?
It absolutely. Have you never seen Tone City? Google it. Google Earth. Tone City, somewhere in China. An entire place built of pedals, valves, and guitars.
Cables.
Anyway, so you just heard Rob playing there, the Bluesman. What we've got is 4 new pedals from the wonderful people at Tone City. They're all kind of nods to other pedals that perhaps have gone down in guitar folklore history over the years.
Is it going to be pedals that sound like a pedal that sounded like a pedal?
It's absolutely pedals that sound like pedals that sound like pedals, just for not as much as other pedals. I still remember, to this day, the email that a colleague at Andertons sent me saying, I've got this badly written email from a supplier in China saying, you know, we've got this new brand called Tone City, do you want to sell them? And my finger hovered over the delete button. And I just thought, I'll just email them back. Look, you know, send us some samples and we'll see how this goes like that. That was probably 50,000 pedals ago.
Wow. That one finger could have deleted 50,000
the
pedals.
proceeds of which have probably paid for, you know, half a dozen members of staff every year for the last 5 years. So I'm eternally thankful that I didn't press delete, and eternally thankful to the wonderful, it's a really tiny company. It's, Jason is the designer out there. Grace is his wife. She does all the kind of admin stuff. And he's just got good ears for pedals. And we've sold, as I said, thousands of especially the mini ones, are really, really popular. Golden Plexi, do you remember that video where you just threw money at it in the video? Yeah. So anyway, 4 new pedals today. The one that we're going to look at first, called the Bluesman, is a nod towards the original Marshall Blues Breaker. You can't buy that pedal anymore, but generally speaking, people consider the JHS Morning Glory a really good Blues Breaker clone. So that's what we're doing here. Blues Breaker is probably a lot, or the early Marshall, the original Marshall Blues Breaker was quite a low gain pedal. Anyway, we're going to try that out. We have the Nobleman. They've nailed the colour. They've absolutely stolen half the name. And the Nobleman, which will be a nod towards the Nobels ODR1. The Mickey, which is probably my favourite named one. Going to get
Mickey.
Sued in every direction because they're inferring apparently that Mickey Mouse is a rat. And again, we don't have the Proco rat here, but what we do have is the Jam Rattler, which won our What's the Best Sounding Rat pedal shootout recently, which maybe you can watch up there. Roland. They should have called it Roland, shouldn't they? And the one that absolutely they're going to have to change the name of before this is properly released, because I'm pretty sure if you put the word Muff on a pedal and your name is not Mike Matthews, then you will get a letter from the legal department at Electro Harmonix saying, please can you not call your pedal a Muff? So this one, which says green Muff on it, I suspect will stay the same colour, but be called something else by the time it arrives.
Could they just change the vowel and make it a moof or a moth?
I'm not sure.
Or a math?
I mean, I certainly know that other brands have fallen foul of that in the past, which is fair enough. It's the whole point of registering a name, isn't it?
I'm voting moof.
Moof. The green moof.
I'm team moof.
Moof. Oh. Moof. Anyway, I've set this up using a Quartermaster. We're basically just going to be going in guitar. We've got a tuner on the floor, but that's not really doing anything. Into the pedal, into a clean amplifier, the end. And what I can do using the Quartermaster is just nicely switch between the two so that you can hear. We'll go through ranges of tones. If you've got any questions, I won't be able to hear them. So I'll have to rely on Rob to ask them. So if you could channel your thoughts psychically to Rob, hopefully he'll pick them up. He can ask me on your behalf. Do you want to hear what Josh, even at JHS, thinks a Marshall Blues Breaker should sound like?
Yes.
Here's what the amp on its own sounds like. Should have done that first. So you can hear the Blues Breaker is a little bit of a boost, a little bit of overdrive, but maybe not as much as you would think. So here we go. gain. Well, all the gain with the gain in position 1 is this.
Oh, yeah.
It has a position 2, which is more gainy again, so... These are about £200. Original Marshall Blues Breakers go on eBay for stupid money. This is about £40.
Lee, surely you've just used exactly the same pedal.
It does sound that way, doesn't it? Let's go. It's kind of, who knows? I guess the problem is, what you can't copyright is tone. You can only copyright, I guess, or patent specific technology. So if someone has managed to recreate the same tone, but using different technology, that's totally fine. And if that different technology costs a lot less money,
that's
totally fine as well.
Yes.
So let's
go from one to the other. So
here we go. So
original?
Bluesman, original.
Original.
Sort of original. JHS version of the original. Half of me asks myself in this, why am I telling people that a £40 pedal can do what a £200 pedal does? But then, of course, there's method in my madness, because we'll probably sell 20 of these for every one of these. Amazing.
They sound great.
And I've never met Jason and Grace. Hopefully I will meet them one day at a trade show or something like that. But they've always been lovely people to deal with. And anyway, look.
Crankage the gain on that one.
I'm going to crankaroo. Here we go.
There's no difference, mate. It's the same pedal.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's different components, but crikey, if it is sounding different, I'm not hearing it.
What are they doing with all that extra space? You know, that's what I want to know.
It's where the tone monkeys live.
Maybe there's a pedal somewhere that's just the space inside the pedal that no longer exists.
Anyway, there you go. Bluesman. Right now, Rob and I are playing with the samples they sent us over, so I don't know exactly when these will be arriving in our fair shores, but links below will take you on over to the product page and that'll have a delivery date against it. Maybe they're already in stock, I don't know. Maybe they're not £40 either, I don't know that. That's just what some of the other Tone City pedals are. Maybe these will be £45, I don't know. But hey, maybe they'll be £300 and all of a sudden Jason's bought a yacht and he's got to pay for it. So there we are. Let's move on to the green one. Okay, next there's the Nobleman. I should also say as well, I'm not responsible for any of these names. If they have to change for legal reasons, then they will, and they'll be in the links below. But here we go. So here is, I have an ODR1. That's a lie. Pete has an ODR1 and I stole it about 2 years ago. This is one of those kind of like, I generally find I'm sort of using everything about sort of 1 or 2 o'clock. Here's what the actual ODR1 sounds like. Here's what a Nobleman sounds like. Bridge of Sighs, please.
Nothing changed. Did you notice that?
It was feeling like it was right at the very beginning of that. I just felt like I had to smidge the volume of the Nobleman up to match it. But I don't know. I mean, I think I can feel like I just need to. There's some minuscule difference between the two as I switch, but not in a better or worse way. Just in a sort of like. But keep. Try another guitar. I mean, feeling like the Nobleman might be marginally bitey again, but again, that might just be a question of backing the tone control back a bit.
It's going to be louder.
Yep.
It's like you're pressing buttons that have no function.
I gotta look. White cables, everybody. I promise you, this is not like a fix. Let's gain this up a bit and just see what happens if we go to like 9 o'clock. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy. Right, here we go. It's mental, right?
I should sell this as well, the box of no consequence.
Yeah. So what else can I tell you about Tone City? They're all true bypass pedals. They all come with a 2-year replacement warranty, and they all run on a 9-volt power supply. So there's no space inside these to put batteries, so you do need to have power supplies. Andertons has, right from day one, done a deal on Tone City where if you buy 2 at the same time, we throw in like a 9-volt supply and a little daisy chain thing, so you can run up to 5 pedals off of that one
a packet
charger.
Of Smarties.
And that, I said, that's free if you buy 2 pedals, and I'm sure we'll include these in that as well.
I didn't do a lot of like necky neck tone.
Let me do a little bit of roll on. Go back to the telly, and I don't use the Nobles like this, but it's known as a bit of a Nashville pedal. So maybe we'll try a low gain thing and just play like a country rock kind of vibe. And
Dear Johnny Highland, I'm sorry.
I have no idea. This may not be how people use the pedal, but I'll just. I was wondering, did I think the Nobles had a very slightly different bottom end as you were doing that chicken picking, finger picking?
I don't think so, man. I think it just is what we would call in the industry nuts on. Shall we try that Muff?
Let's try the big Muff versus the green Muff. Moving on.
I'm excited to play guitar.
Right. This is a bit David and Goliath, this one. Not so much in price, actually, because the Big Muff is not an expensive pedal, but in size. You could quite easily, as I think Rob said, fit like half a dozen of these Tone City ones inside the Big Muff. And on that point, I should say, you know, the Big Muff is only this big for historical fun. Gone are the days of the inside of this pedal being full of, you know, wires and bits and bobs. It's now a relatively small printed circuit board inside here. And there are lots of smaller copies of the Muff, including from Electro Harmonix themselves, that don't need to be this big. But this is still the popular one because I guess it's a little slice of history, isn't it? So I'm not a Muff owner, so I couldn't tell you sort of where the tones are, but we'll have a bit of a tweakaroo. We've started with everything sort of between 1 and 3, you know. So here we go. This is what a Big Muff sounds like with a Telecaster. So immediately there's a lower frequency note that's coming from the Tone City one that doesn't come from the Big Muff. So this is the first one where I've sort of gone, I think they've got the kind of the gain characteristic right, but the Big Muff seems to have some sort of shelf that's removing bottom end, and the Tone City isn't. Whether that's makes it better, worse, whatever.
Well, it'll make it maybe better for this kind of guitar, but maybe not for that kind of guitar.
True.
So should we change guitars?
So let me just try all the gain for maximum sludge.
Oh my
God.
God.
And maybe if I try tweaking the tone control on the Tone City one, maybe it'll remove some bass end, or maybe it won't, but here's all the sludge.
That's interesting. It dropped in its amount of...
It's just darker sounding, the Big Muff, isn't it? I mean, I've taken we've got the tone control here at sort of 2 o'clock here. I've taken the Tone City one back further off to sort of try and match it. But
I'll do that riff again.
Okay.
Swap between the two, and then I'll play some lead. I really like your guitar, Lee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rob. If only we put a tuner on the floor for you. I mean, all I've done here, as you can probably see from overhead camera, is the volume and the tone on the Tone City have stayed pretty much 12 o'clock. The volume and the tone on the Big Muff have cranked more around to sort of 2 or 3 o'clock, and now the pedals again are sounding very, very similar.
Okay, I'm almost chew end. I am chew end.
Good man! Have we got time, everybody, Mr. Soundman, and do we have one here? Have we got a Russian...
Pie.
The way huge Russian pickle. Okay. Oh, there's a pubic hair on it. How disgusting.
As long as it's not yours.
So you can see we've got a way huge Russian pickle now. I'm pretty sure this is where the colour kind of inspiration has come from on the Tone City one. So we'll just put distortion at 3 o'clock, everything else pretty flat, and see whether or not there's a big difference here.
It's the same.
Well, there we are.
Well done.
So whatever these guys end up renaming this to, that'll be in the links below. We've got one more pedal to do, and that is the Mickey versus the Rattler. Rats, if you're not familiar with them, are a kind of blend of distortion and fuzz merged into one. The Proco Rat, crazy popular pedal. Still not that expensive, actually, a little bit like the Big Muff. We did a video earlier in the year of like what's the best Rat pedal, and although the Rattler won it, the Proco came like a really close second, and because it's so much more affordable, it sold out like crazy. So we have, anyway, you can watch that video up there if you want to. The Tone City is going to be even more affordable still. So anyway, I guess we should have a listen. But the Rattler won it, and the Rattler was the dearest one. This is about £200 from memory. So that's what everyone thought was their favourite Rat. I should tell you, the reason the Rattler is so expensive is it uses exactly the same component, overdrive component, that the original Proco Rat used, and the current sort of remake of the Proco Rat does not use that. So if anything, the Rattler is the truer vintage Rat. Anyway, here's a Rattler.
Sounds great.
Changed the telly. I very quickly realised that the Mickey is darker than the Rattler. So what you saw me do in that first sequence there was just turn the tone control up from, it's like 1 or 2 o'clock on the Rattler, it's 3 or 4 o'clock on the Mickey. The Mickey's got a switch which I think takes it more into like turbo rat territory, which the Rattler doesn't do, but I'll demo that in a minute. Let's just see what we've got with a bit more of everything. So here we go.
A bit more? I'm going to do a thing with my volume too. It's the same pedal.
It's the same pedal. Either my ears are shot or all 4 of these are remarkably similar sounding. Let's just have a see what this switch does on the Mickey.
Oh yeah, what does it do?
I should apologise. I should have checked that first. Okay, I had it in the sort of fatter mode, which potentially is why I needed to tone up a bit here. Maybe I should have just left it in its normal mode. So let's try this versus the tone. I'm not sure. I mean, in that other mode, if you just turn the volume up a bit more, again, the Mickey sounds remarkably similar to the Rattler. So
you know what, though, as well as sounding remarkably similar, it just sounds good.
Yeah, they all sound good. Well, you'd hope that, because what would be the point of going to copy a pedal that didn't sound good in the first place? So this is absolutely, you can take this 2 ways. You can take this as a form of flattery. You know, whenever a pedal is heavily copied, it normally means because the original one sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is kind of weird because we're here celebrating that something has copied something else. So it's a weird sort of two-sided thing, isn't it?
Because it's like the Kemper conversation all again, isn't it? You know, is it? But I mean, I kind of feel like great tone is just in the public domain, isn't it? It's circuit board designs and names and graphics and stuff can be copyrighted, but great tone is just there. And if somebody can make great tone more affordably than somebody else, and you know what? There will be people with £3,000 guitars into £3,000 amplifiers with a pedal board worth £5,000 who I guarantee you, regardless of what this video showed, will not buy Tone City pedals.
Yeah.
And there will be people out there who are putting boards together where they've got, you know, a 50 quid this and a 60, 70 quid that. And they'll be going, hallelujah, thank you, Tone City. Now I can have great tone, you know, without spending crazy money.
Yeah.
Man, that was, I genuinely, I really want to hear the comment section, because I'm not sure whether or not after a little bit of ear fatigue, it becomes harder to hear subtle differences, or if genuinely there were no subtle differences. So
I guess we're going to find out in the
comment section below. Yeah, let me know. But I was super impressed. So there you go. Well done.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
Combien est le quartermaster?
Oh, quite expensive. The big one is just 250, something like that.
250 wooden ingots of joy.
Really clever, very cool. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Rob and my little weekend soiree together for the time being. So, Rob, have a safe journey back to Malta.
Thank you. And you have a safe journey back to here.
I'm looking forward to going out for dinner this evening.
It's going to be good.
And yes, so, Rob, we'll see you back whenever we see you back. And thanks, thank you guys for watching. Love you lots, and we shall see you soon.
Bye.
Oh, he got it with the last one.
Probably fixed it.
Broke the lens. Take that off the bill. Right, see you later.